Jesus Christ.
Welcome to PodSpill number 9?
Yes.
That's what I have in here, because last one was 8, so that makes this one 9.
Yeah.
John, joined by Malcolm.
Hi.
I need to speak louder.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a little
Joined by
bit.
Soren. I'm
Yeah.
just very...
That's okay.
Yeah.
You're good.
It's been a day. So I
Tell
guess,
us why.
Yeah, tell us about it.
I think I've explained this. We're not going into it. Anyways, so we are hot off of Oscars that happened 2 weeks ago.
Last Sunday, 2 weekends ago.
Sure.
It was 2 because you got sick.
Yes,
when we were supposed
I got
to
sick.
record
Right.
this.
Yep.
Yeah, so
Ruined
right,
it.
so right now
Okay.
it's the 14th.
Yep.
We did the Oscar challenge. Not really.
As usual, I'm showing up to this Oscar conversation fashionably late.
Yeah.
Because why?
Soren won.
That's right.
Soren won. So we guessed simple math, 10 categories. We did Best Picture, Best Actor, Best Actress, Best Animated Film, Cinematography, Director, Video Editing, Score, Visual Effects, and Writing. Soren got Best Picture, or Best Picture. He got, which he guessed Shape of Water. We all guessed
everything.
Yes. Cinematography, we all guessed Blade Runner. We all got that correct.
Of course.
So good.
For Best Directors, Soren guessed Guillermo del Toro and won.
Nice.
Score, he guessed Shape of Water and won. Visual Effects, he guessed Blade Runner and won.
Nice. So I literally watched 2 movies and was like, that's it. End it.
Pretty much. We were very...
No one got Best Actor, right?
No.
Nope.
Who got?
Actually, you did.
Oh.
You guessed Oldman.
Oh, there you go.
God, I'm so good.
And you won.
You did.
Find
You
the
won like
odds and
it's
expectations of my peers.
Yep.
Who got Best Actress?
Hey, no, I got the Best Supporting Actor too. I got 3 right.
Who did you get? We didn't guess.
You
this.
did.
I said Sam Rockwell's going to win that.
Oh, I didn't.
And then I went on my thing about James Roday is better than Sam Rockwell, but Sam Rockwell's going to win it.
Oh, I didn't have that we guessed that.
Oh, we might not.
I mean, you're right.
Oh,
It was probably in the video, but I don't think we all
well,
guessed
did
it.
we guess any for Best Actress?
Yeah.
Okay.
We were all wrong.
Okay.
Yeah, I went Meryl
'Cause-
Streep on that. I don't know who that is still, but I'm supposed to know.
Frances McDormand. Yeah, she won.
She was the main lady in the
If we had done documentary, I maybe would have gotten it because I just watched it.
Hey, I'm pretty sure I said something about Kobe. I knew Kobe would win. And you know who did say something about Kobe?
Kevin.
Damn it, all of you see
Kevin
it.
from you saw it.
I've seen it 18 times.
Yes.
A
actually.
good call on Coco. I really didn't think. I
I knew that was gonna win.
I just thought because Moana was like it was. Everyone loved
Was
it.
Moana even up?
No, well that was
No.
old, but it wasn't up for anything back like last year.
Yeah, that's true.
So like I didn't think Coco would be anything because I
Yeah.
just thought Moana was such a home run.
Yeah, you guys both guessed Boss Baby on that.
It's a
Blade
classic.
Runner seemed like that was like that was going to win cinematography.
Did Get Out win something?
Get
Yes.
Out won.
Best screenplay or
Oh,
Yeah, it did.
best screenplay. Yeah.
Not best.
Peele
actor, just
deserved
best,
it.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the picture of him and Key holding each other,
No.
staring lovingly into each other's eyes?
I think I did.
Nah.
And then it said, "Find someone who looks at you the way that Peele looks at you."
This is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I finally got around to watching Get Out, and that was crazy. I can't
did you like it?
believe. Oh my god, it was so good.
Yeah?
it was so good. Like I wasn't sure where they were going for it, and I love how they just kind of like, oh shit, we're here now.
Oh, yeah.
This is real.
Yeah.
And the guy on the phone coming at the very end.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I
Yeah.
just didn't. The whole thing was great.
It was
I
great.
feel like Soren's advantage was he didn't watch any of the other movies beforehand.
I guess that was an advantage.
Because I feel like he just happened to watch the one.
I watched
like,
a
yeah,
couple
okay.
I knew would do me right.
Because would you have been more conflicted if you had seen Get Out before we did
No.
these guesses?
Nope.
Yeah, Shape of Water is pretty dang good.
It's-
I ended up watching that.
I don't. Bestiality is not my thing.
Not even bestiality.
You guys just told me it's like a fish guy.
It's interspecies, humanoids
Zayden kind of.
coming together.
I don't know.
It was really good though.
It was. They
Yeah.
switched it to like weird musical
It's like-
elements.
it's
where
like I
they
thought it
were
was
doing,
gonna have,
kick show
like-
stuff. And
I was gonna
All
have-
should have gotten their win back. It was stolen from them, and I rose pulling for them to come through this
I thought
year.
it was gonna have problems. But
I remember that last year because when we were back in the office when it came out, you were so pissed off, and that's all you talked about after the Oscars because you were so angry about.
And then
La
one
La
of the
Land.
senators got really mad at me and said, "Moonlight or whatever deserved to win." I go, "No, La La Land's the best." And then he turned it into like a race thing. I'm like, no, I just really like La La Land, okay? I love Emma Stone.
Fucking racist.
Ryan Gosling.
Yep.
That's basically, like, in the middle of
Emma
a Senate
Stone.
meeting, that's why he said, like,
Damn, dude.
like, basically, like, white people just didn't like Moonlight, and that's why you all think it shouldn't have won. I go,
I
no,
didn't
it's
see
just
either.
messed up.
It's like I'm
So-
not really white, but
Yeah,
thanks.
the issue is that they announced the
It's like,
other movie.
I think I just have different tastes in movies, but all right. Let's see. Editing. You guys both guessed Baby Driver. I guess Dunkirk, and I got that.
It's because you betrayed. You betrayed the driver.
Fuck you. And then score. Soren got that. Shape of Water.
Did
Visual
you guys
effects.
go for John Williams?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
wasn't
was
sure. I
hoping
was
he would
surprised.
for his second to last movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted him to have
I really
it.
thought he was going to get it.
So
Yeah.
he's got to get it in 9.
Yeah.
John, step up your game.
Visual effects. I guess Guardians. Malcolm guessed Last Jedi. Soren guessed Blade Runner and got it.
It's just a pretty movie.
It was a pretty movie. Guardians, like...
Yeah, I
There were
could get
so
that.
many-
Star Wars was the most beautiful
Yeah.
Star Wars yet.
Yeah.
It was, but I still think like Guardians was better just because there were so many different like
Things
they
they
went
did
into
on-
that world and everything
Guardians
was
was really
crashing.
cool, but
and
then there was
all that
other
stuff.
elements of it. Like, a lot of it was really good, and there's a few times it's like, ooh.
I think
Yeah.
the few times
Not
was like
great.
every time they were like inside talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't.
Anything to do with the story, of that movie, I feel like was
Fair
not the
enough.
best part.
That's fair. I think that's fair. And then writing, we all guessed wrong. I think we guessed best adapted screenplay. We all guessed Logan,
Yeah,
and we got it wrong.
I think
He's
that's
raw.
just we're fanboys.
Give it to
and we were
Hugh.
blind.
Yeah, I really feel
Give it to
like
Hugh.
I rewatched that movie pretty recently, and I'm just like, man, this fucking deserved to get something.
It was
Yeah.
I
good.
think I watched like the director's commentary
That
on
was
top.
the perfect send-off
Yeah,
to my boy
yeah.
Hugh.
It was just, I don't know what they want, because like I watch it and I'm just like, this is set apart from everything else that is like a superhero movie, and if this can't like get anything, then I don't understand like what can.
I feel like it's the same thing like horror movies had to overcome to finally win
That's
something. I
true.
think superhero movies are going to be the same way as far as like legit
Yeah.
awards.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
That's hurtful.
But I just felt like this was so standout and different. Not that like it was in the same like vein as Get Out, obviously, but I just felt like it at least was doing things different and right. I don't know. So
Patrick Stewart had the worst potty mouth in that movie,
God, it was so funny.
and it was awesome.
Yeah, I love Patrick Stewart.
I was surprised that Dunkirk got so many different awards. Just because
Yeah.
People love the war movie.
I know. And remember, we were like, "Oh, we think it's a little played out now."
Yeah.
but I don't think
That
it
doesn't
won.
mean it's not
It
played
did, yeah.
out. It
and,
just
and I
means
was gonna
that
say
they
that
disagree.
does, like what they only won best film editing, which yeah, okay. Best sound mixing. That's just because there's a lot of explosions. It's hard
Yeah.
to get like with the sound with
Yeah.
like the actual voices or the gunfire and all that stuff. I think they won something to the left. I thought. Oh, they got best sound editing and they got I guess twice.
It's the editor and the editing.
Okay.
And it's the same thing they
Yeah.
did with sound mixing and the mixer.
Ah, I see.
Darkest Hour for the makeup. I'm assuming mainly for Gary Oldman
I think so.
character. I don't
And it may
really
have
know
also
much else
won-
what came in.
Which is weird because, like, in terms of makeup, like, there's a lot of other movies that, like, have different, like, The Shape of Water. Like,
Yeah.
imagine putting, like, that's why I thought,
Yeah.
like, Hellboy and anyone who puts on, like, actual, that's good artistry right there to make that look pretty believable.
And now that you know Guillermo del Toro's won, what did he won? Did he win best? No, he didn't. Who won best director? He did.
Yeah, he
and
did.
and his
Uh-huh.
film also won. So, in a way, like that makes me really happy. I don't know. I just feel like he's been such a good like filmmaker for so long, and like a unique filmmaker
Mhm.
that now it's finally he's being recognized for like these different unique stories that he wants to tell. And
Well, I'm kind of afraid to see kind of how the lawsuit pans out because
Oh,
I
yeah,
could
so
see
it's-
them.
explain this.
So apparently, there's a dude who wrote a book that is essentially close to the same sort of elements and the same story and the same sort of ideas
Okay.
as The Shape of Water and kind of what happened with that. And so he sued them for plagiarism, and I'm afraid that what's going to come out of it is that he and the movie people and everyone a part of that movie are going to lose their Oscars because he plagiarized. And
Wow.
it was an original screenplay, I believe. It was
Yeah.
an original thing, which means he either did or did not plagiarize. Which, I mean, I don't know how you really cite that because he is saying, like, I don't know, there's a lot of director commentary that talks about how he, like, has these different monsters in his head, and, like, film is a great way for him to kind of express, you know, the different things that he sees and thinks of and that kind of stuff. And so, like, it felt authentic, but then, like, as soon as the allegation comes around, and this, you don't hear a lot about this, like, with movies, especially, like, with, like, movies that are so good like that, where it could be a potential problem, because I mean people have lost, you know, trophies for and shows and all, like right now that's kind of the landscape of Hollywood. If you fuck up like that, then or even in other ways like good old Kevin Spacey, you're going to get all your shit taken away.
Absolutely.
And so I could see that. I mean, even the lawsuit he could sue for. I don't know if you could sue for Oscars. Like, can you sue? I want those right there.
Yeah, I mean. Definitely, like, the lawsuit seems like that would take away a lot of, I don't know. I don't want to say clout, because that's not really the right word, but, like, the special, like, feeling you get by winning an Oscar. So it's like, well, this shit has pretty much been rendered meaningless because I got sued and lost. And just, so Malcolm has a Rolling Stone article pulled up here for us, and just kind of reading, it looks like it's this dude's son that is suing Mr. Del Toro.
So the guy, Zindel, the father, wrote a play in 1967. Yeah, I think that's what it said. Yeah. Where a woman falls in love with a water creature. In this case, the dolphin is what it says.
Yes.
With a dolphin, ladies and gentlemen. And tries to rescue it.
Okay.
And she loves it. And they gain their trust through food. And...
So, I mean, I guess there are, like, elements, but that's, I mean, you know, I'm not, like, a lawyer, but...
And that's why I'm afraid, like, it could get lawyered pretty good, and then we might see some issues come out of it, because I haven't read the original, I don't know it was a weird book that's pretty old.
It's called Let Me Hear You Whisper.
Yes.
A female janitor named Helen befriends and falls for a dolphin, being held captive at a government facility. If you've seen The Shape of Water, this is drastically different than Let Me Hear You Whisper's plot. I mean, you know, does she have sex with the dolphin?
Yeah.
I mean, that could be a reason no one's ever heard of this play before.
That could be why. Maybe Del Toro was like, hey, you know what? I'm going to make this different. She's going to...
But I'm going to make it a weird creature I've seen in my dreams.
He said that he had, during his 25-year career... He has made 10 feature films and has always been very open about acknowledging his influences. The Zindel family has questions about the original work. We welcome a conversation with them. And then they also say that Del Toro has never seen the movies or never seen the play.
Yeah, and then
because who has seen that play?
Yeah. No one.
It's not a thing.
Right.
But what do I know? I mean, I am, you know, admitted to a law school, so I'm basically a lawyer.
That's true. That's what I hear. Yeah, so it seems like this is winnable because, like, it's not like a very well-known thing, and then like I feel like his story is unique enough, and sure, it shares some plot points, but ultimately it's a lot different.
The family also went from not making any comments, even though people were pointing it out, to waiting till the Oscars, and then they're like, "We are offended."
And then, like right before the Oscars, I think there's an actual lawsuit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, lawsuit. That was like around February, the end of February.
That's too bad. I really hope that
it goes well. Yeah.
I hope they take it away and they give it to Logan.
Was he fucking nominated?
No, but all those nominations weren't as good as a plagiarized piece of work. So, be better.
Be better.
I don't know. And after seeing Get Out, if it was taken away, I'd hope that win.
Yeah.
Honestly, like if for me, it'd
not anymore.
I ended up seeing. So I've seen Lady Bird now, and I've seen I, Tonya, which I, Tonya was pretty good. The only thing that like I had a problem with I, Tonya is that it kind of like took me out of it in some instances, where she's doing like the skating part, because it's like it's Margot Robbie's face, like superimposed on somebody very obviously on a green screen, and I was just like,
so they did not win the visual effects category.
They should not. Yeah, like even Star Wars had better, like where they like painted somebody's face on. Yeah. It just took me out of it. It was a good story, and like it was kind of like who directed that? Was that Scorsese that did that? It kind of felt like his type of thing, where like he like will interview, like there'll be like interviews with like the actual people, and then who directed Craig Gillespie. Okay, I don't even know
You
who
know
that
Craig.
is. I don't know who that is.
Good old Craig.
Well, it felt kind of like, I don't know, Scorsesean, I guess, is the word I will use. Because, like, it felt like Wolf of Wall Street, where, like, the characters will break the fourth wall and then, like, talk to us in that kind of way. And it was funny, and, like, I didn't realize how sad, like, Tonya Harding's life was. It was, like, really bad. She suffered, like, a lot of abuse of, like, her mother's and, like, her boyfriend / husband. And, like, but also there were, like, segments of it that were really hilarious because, like, she's a wife to, like, this goon and, like, all of his friends, and, like, they try to, like, advance her career, but they're idiots, and so, like, they keep getting arrested because they just don't understand how to commit crimes, even though they act like they're crime lords.
Nice.
So I don't know, that was worth a watch, but I feel like, again, out of the things I've seen, Shape of Water was definitely, like, the best.
This reminded me of an article I got from Apple News. Tonya Harding. This in South Africa, a triathlete. One of his rivals paid someone to try to cut off his legs with a chainsaw.
Well, apparently this
And
is
like,
not only just...
They saw Tonya Harding and they said, we can do better.
We can do this, yeah.
The lead pipe didn't work, so we'll go.
Wow.
So yeah, they like chased him down while he was on his bike in the morning and tried to chainsaw off his legs. And that's what popped up. What popped up on my phone was breaking news. South African triathlete's legs almost sawed off with chainsaw.
Right.
And that's all it said
And
to
you're
me.
like, what's this about?
Good luck with the rest of your day.
I just sent it to just about everyone I could think of.
That's what I love about when my favorite comment of Summers ever in Rick and Morty is when she's talking to her dad and it's like, we eat tragedy for breakfast. It's like we just see this headline of some like Saw 4 type shit happening to someone and we're like, all right, back to crunching those numbers at my data entry job or whatever.
Too bad there's nothing to report on for the Rick and Morty.
But Soren got to bring it up, and that's what matters.
That's fine. It's
true.
up. It's
It's
there.
there.
It was very relevant
in there.
to the conversation.
Speaking of other topics
I was
that
going to go
we
with that
just
too.
love to beat to death.
Oh, well, this is
Well,
this is John's Star Wars corner. All right, the
Yeah,
Rebels.
we'll do that. We'll do this first.
We're gonna time this segment. It's not gonna be 45 minutes.
Okay.
It's gonna be 20-ish minutes.
I might move
maybe.
this segment to the end.
That's fine.
Okay.
We can just edit.
So can we start with the very first entry in the history of Star Wars? And I want to move from there.
No.
Just set the
on.
scene. Set the scene.
It
I want to
starts
start
like
at the beginning,
80,000.
but I don't think that's early enough.
BBY.
So, anyways, Star Wars Rebels ended, and shit finally happened on this fucking show that I've been putting time in. Nothing has happened up until this point.
Yeah, that's I
many
watched
seasons?
the first season, like 4.
There were 4 seasons of it.
Yeah. I
They're all
watched the
wasted
first
time.
season and I was like, I will give this a go. Because
Yes.
there's pockets that are okay
Yes.
in each episode.
Yeah.
The rest of it's pretty much just little farm boy who's like, I'm Ezra and there's Jedi. I have a lightsaber and a gun and it's all in one. And I was like, what the fuck?
He has completely summed it up. We can not talk about Rebels now because that's
We're done.
And then
Time.
season 3 came around.
Yeah.
And I saw a trailer for it and I was like, what the fuck happened?
shit gets dark.
What the hell?
It gets dark.
Is that
They,
the
like,
season that Maul versus
completely-
Obi-Wan happened?
Yeah.
The end.
And like just weird shit starts happening and you
Yeah.
learn about this different stuff about the Sith and
Yeah.
all this and I was like, I guess I might
What
have
happened to the
try.
show?
Yeah, what
Yeah.
happened? I guess I quit too early.
All right, so these are the last 2 episodes of this fucking show.
Ever.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So this is what happens.
Tell us.
They're on Ezra's homeworld, all right, of Lothal. It's inconsequential. There's a Jedi temple at this fucking thing. The Empire's like, we got to figure out these fucking drawings because this opens up the temple somehow. We're idiots.
It's like Pictionary.
Yeah, pretty much. Essentially.
Jedi Pictionary. Here we go.
And then Ezra's like, I'm a Jedi. I know what this means. And he does like some hand motions
Because he has
and like
so much history.
He's so
and,
much
like,
he knows.
He studied in the archives.
He knows.
Like all those years
He knows.
being a rebel.
he's like, and then like puts his hand into the thing, and then like the portrait like shifts and like it's dancing like on this rock, and then it opens a portal, and he's like, okay, guess I'll go through the portal.
Because he knows exactly what it is.
He knows exactly what it is. He goes
He's a
in.
Jedi.
Just wanted to make sure.
He goes in, and it's like this realm. It's like this world with like all these other different portals. And basically why this is important is because this establishes time travel within this universe. he's able to see like all these passings that happen. He goes to this one portal where his Ahsoka is the
Yep.
Anakin's Padawan. Right, she's fighting Darth Vader. He pulls her through the portal and saves her as she's about to be killed, and then she's alive. That's what happens. And then at the end, they fight Thrawn, and then like these space whales come from nowhere, and then they grab a hold of Thrawn's ship, and with Ezra in there, the space whales. That's what happens. And then they just jettison off, and we don't know what happens.
Is that so? Ezra's Snoke.
What?
So Ezra's Snoke. That's what it is. That's where Snoke's been the whole time.
I don't.
Confirmed.
Not confirmed. That's
confirmed.
Confirmed.
That's hearsay.
I don't know. Marvel just emailed that.
Right here. I called it, and it's going to make
Disney,
it big.
not Marvel.
You're welcome,
Disney.
John. You're welcome.
Thanks, dude.
Anytime.
Thanks. But yeah, so that's the end. And basically they just kind of like catch people up. They're like, yeah, we don't know what happened to them. And then Hera and Rex, they fought in the Battle of Endor. Blah, blah, blah.
What? Okay.
And then...
did they show fucked up versions of Leia and Han and all the rest of them?
No, they don't. They don't.
Okay.
And then what happens? Oh, and then like after the Battle of Endor and all this stuff happens, you see Ahsoka return. She's like dressed in robes, has like this like staff, and then she's like finds this other girl that's part of Ghost Crew or whatever the fuck it is, Sabine, and she's like, let's go find Ezra.
Yeah.
And then they go find Ezra, and we don't know. That's it.
Pretty much every Jedi has been explained away.
Yeah.
And in
which is why I think
still.
it's weird. Like that's the third different. Well, I guess the first one is of course Luke and the rest of them on Endor. Then what was it? The main character in Battlefront 2 storyline was also on Endor. They saw the Death Star blow up, and now. Yeah. Ezra and friend, or you said the other people.
The Rex thing was confirmed before because they think he's that old guy with white beard. Everyone's like, that must be Rex.
Yeah.
And then Disney was just like,
he was on Endor too.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
He's the older guy who you see a lot in movies, and then George Lucas was just that guy. But yeah, so that was kind of like everyone's like, oh, it makes perfect sense, and then Disney's like, sure, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, fuck it, yeah.
Because Star Wars fanboys just have to be right.
So now I have a question, and we're gonna make this relevant and return this into a discussion. Okay. Do we think that time travel hurts or helps Star Wars overall?
I think so. What I think they're going to do with Ezra is I think he's going to be one of the new trilogies.
Okay.
I'm assuming he's one of the new trilogies.
You would think, yeah.
Or the other option would obviously be the Jon Favreau TV series, but I don't think anyone wants to see him in that. So I'm going to say they use this to launch one of the other trilogies and still have Jedi in it, and I think it'll be really cool as long as it's not like the thing in Star Wars now.
Okay.
If it's like it is now, where it's like, oh, literally one time in 10 billion years we've seen time travel.
Like
maybe bring it up once.
Now.
Maybe bring it up once in one movie to set up like the plot for the next movie.
I just hope it doesn't touch. Oh shit!
They won't touch it.
Remember when we were all like, "Oh, Snoke's death was nothing."
Oh my god!
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
There's so many other ways to explain Snoke
they
without
don't
touching
put
this.
any sort of time shit in the main movie.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think they'll do anything from Rebels. They'll put this. The new trilogies are the least amount of work possible for fans.
Yeah,
is the thing, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, they have the books, but there's really no pertinent information in the books.
There's not.
Right. Okay.
But I think like this is really good because like they did this at the very end of the Clone Wars series too, where Yoda went off and learned what
really
the freaking Force was and like how it came to be and what his role was and that all that different stuff.
Yeah.
But like I don't know what they're gonna do with time travel. Yeah. Like that's such a specific.
I feel like probably what it was like the Jedi secret weapon that helped them kind of rise to power. And then that was... So when you have a secret weapon, you don't put like another nuke just laying around.
Yeah, I thought these were just like natural kind of...
It was weird how it was done. But essentially, so like I said, like it was like a painting, and then he did like some shit with his hands, and then the painting like came to life, and like you see these... They're wolves. They start like go to like this other like part, and then they like start running in a circle, which creates this portal. So I don't know if it's like this is the only way that this can be activated, and I don't know like we don't know like all the things that like that make it work, like whether it's just like it depends on like the person that's like activating it, because it seemed like all these different like glimpses of his like life or whatever were solely specific to him.
Okay.
So, like, if you were to go in the portal, it'd be different for you. It'd be all
Yeah.
these pivotal moments of your life. Like, I can change that.
Yeah.
But if I were to go in, I don't know. It was fucking weird.
And I have no pivotal moments. 'Cause
Yeah, that's
I've
true.
never made a mistake. So
That's true. That's true.
No,
You are perfect.
You are the perfect
Thank you.
being.
But yeah, so that was interesting. And then I guess we'll kind of segue onto kind of what Malcolm was saying with the Jon Favreau stuff. So that's big news, I think.
Happy is directing Star Wars.
Yes, Happy.
Awesome. Happy.
He has directed and produced Iron Man, and now Jon Favreau is set to direct these Star Wars live action series, which will be streaming exclusively on Disney's yet unnamed platform.
No. I see, and this is why I wish they would just utilize Hulu. Most of their stuff is already on Hulu.
this
anyway.
is the future is everyone having their own. CBS has their
Yeah,
own.
I know.
Plus, you know what? As anywhere they could go, they would go with Netflix because they
Yeah.
already have all their Marvel stuff on Netflix.
Yeah.
They're
Well, I
leaving the
think-
superheroes on.
Yeah, but like
Netflix.
all like the old Disney stuff and like generally the Disney shows are all on Hulu.
I think
Yeah.
I think that's they're doing. So the Netflix shows that are Marvel are staying on Netflix if they're
Right.
rated above PG.
Okay.
But the other stuff, I'm pretty sure the reason they haven't launched it already is because they have these existing contracts.
Yeah.
And Hulu's is coming up soon. And so when Hulu loses that, that's why all the newer movies have been going to Netflix. Because
yeah.
basically, they went and said, we'll only give them to you for a year. Netflix is like, fine, a year's
and it's
better than
always
nothing.
the second one. They never give you that first one.
Gosh. But yeah, so that's what's happening. I didn't really see much speculation because, like, it's so fresh and new.
There's nothing that's been done before. Like
Yeah,
that.
I mean, there's infinite stories to tell in the Star Wars universe,
Yeah.
and we don't know like what it's going to be. But it seems like they.
Hopefully, it doesn't start with the Death Star blowing up on Endor.
Oh my
for the
god!
third time.
Oh my fucking god! I would leave. I would leave my house while I'm watching it.
This is outrageous.
So I can't take
I
this.
can't live here
How many
anymore.
stories have been told? But yeah, no, that would be pretty bad. Pretty bad news.
Do you think they're gonna go, scoundrel dark route, like do kind of like a
It'd be cool.
like a essentially Ezra kind of deal at the very beginning, where he's like a guerrilla trooper essentially, but it's actually no one who's force sensitive.
Sure.
I don't think they're gonna show a lightsaber on the main screen or on the TV screen.
I think
for a
they will.
while. You think that's gonna be? They're just gonna
I don't think they'll lead off with it, but I think
No.
they'll be there. Because
Really?
it's not Star Wars if it doesn't have that stuff.
Well, because I kind of thought like Rogue One might have had. He was kind of, but he won.
The thing about lightsabers now, though, is like
They're so different.
they're very different, but it's so easy now for you've seen the production value of TV shows.
Yeah.
They're, like we just watched
true.
Lost in Space.
Good call.
That was basically
Yeah.
what was the Matthew McConaughey
Any
Interstellar
or
like, TV series.
Martian or
Like
literally any of
Interstellar was
those, yeah.
insane, and then they're just like, yeah, we do that for 10
Cloverfield
episodes.
Paradox.
27 on Rotten Tomatoes.
It was worse than
Good
that. Was it 15?
Lord.
Yeah, it was
It
terrible.
was like really. I know
Apparently,
it
I
was
didn't
worse
think
than the
so.
50 Shades.
But, so I've been kind of like, there's been all kinds of different stories coming out about Jon Favreau and like the end of Rebels and all this stuff. And Dave Filoni, who's like, he does like all the TV stuff for Disney, for Star Wars. Basically, they always say never go to like the comment section, but that's what I do first thing.
Oh yeah.
They're
People are
saying it might
just
be a setup for a new show. They think that might be a setup.
for like a new like.
Yeah, I'm
trilogy.
on Wired right now because I saw Han Solo might be in even more trouble.
Oh god.
But they're saying that the showrunner,
Dave
Filoni,
Filoni, yeah.
when asked about the possibility of it being set up for a new series, I've always felt the best stories end and then another story begins, and there's no better way to take two of my favorite characters and have them ride off in the sunset like I've seen so many Cowboys do over the years.
Or Indiana
Jones.
Oh, except for the brought
One
him back
thing
for
ends
Crystal
and another
Skull, and that was
begins.
amazing.
And the story continues. That's a saga.
Oh,
All right.
boy.
All right.
So they are.
And the Han Solo thing is, so you know how have you guys seen the posters for Solo?
No, I've not.
They're a lot less Star Warsy and a lot more like a normal movie poster, like
Yeah.
a lot of action on it. So
Oh,
and
wait,
they're
yeah.
saying they maybe that has a lot of similarities to some French artist album cover.
Yeah. Actually, I have seen these. They're not bad, but they're not like Star Warsian at all.
Yeah, I think this is
That's a fake, right?
Yeah.
When I see that, I literally, this is how I say it in my head, Solo, because it just looks like
I'm trying to find the
it's
cover
trying
that
too
they're.
hard to be something it's not.
Okay. So they are very similar.
Yeah, they completely lifted that.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
That's definitely been
Soren,
stolen.
could you also put these in the video
Sure,
in case anyone's
just
watching?
So that people can see that this is definitely fucking stolen.
Jeez.
They're gonna lose that lawsuit.
God dang.
Someone's been fired.
So we just
very
found
quickly.
another thing that makes us feel uncomfortable about the Solo movie.
Yeah,
But it's gonna be good.
It's gonna be
it's gonna
good.
be good.
Yeah.
Oh
It's gonna be good. He
boy.
says.
Everything's fine.
It's
Everything's
fine.
fine.
Oh my goodness.
All right.
Okay, Star
let's
Wars,
move away
that's
from
about
Star
our
Wars.
segment.
Yeah, I think that's
About
about it.
15
See?
minutes.
Yeah, that was healthy.
So good.
That was healthy.
Healthy Star Wars out there.
All right, so what else we got? We kind of mentioned Lost in Space. Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
for a
Oh, I'm
second.
hyped.
Yeah.
Actually,
it
let's
looks-
do that and let's talk about Netflix as a whole. We got a couple things going on here.
Netflix is doing a really
Yeah,
good
so I
job.
just showed you guys Lost in Space.
Lost
What do
in
you guys
Space.
think? The trailer for Lost in Space.
What was okay, so there's this new book series that like kind of came out. It's called Expeditionary Force, and it's about when aliens finally visit us and kind of what our reaction is. And it follows the story of some sort of like low-ranking army official, and then they go out into space and they learn about different space politics and stuff like that. And it's really like it's like a what is that? Sci-fi space odyssey kind of thing, where they just or a space opera.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's what I've heard in that book, and what I saw on there look so similar.
Sure.
Like in terms of just like the amount of different alien technology and the different stuff that they showed within the trailer, and then just kind of like the whole ideal of like these groups of people leaving, I think settling somewhere. It looks like they went and just like
Yeah.
found
Yeah,
a
it's
planet and, like-
they're supposed to, but then they get lost in space.
right, and so
Yeah.
because
yeah.
Have you guys seen either the
Uh-uh.
well, probably not the original series since that was like 1967,
Nope.
or the more recent like 2000 movie?
Mm-mm.
I'm not.
I've heard about it, and I know my dad told me to watch it a couple times, but I have not given.
I used to watch this when I was younger. It was not well received,
Yeah,
obviously,
27% on Rotten Tomatoes.
but this was my first exposure. Was that's the robot and that.
It's much different.
It's pretty similar
Yeah.
to the first robot. I think
Yeah.
I remember watching something on BBC America about the robot. Basically, I think it was more about science fiction, like in general,
Yeah.
and like how this robot was like one of the first ones, like on TV, that people kind of were like,
Yeah.
"Oh, this is what the future could be like."
Yeah.
Look, this robot doesn't suck; it's terrible. But yeah, so I'm kind of looking at interesting facts on here, and like the theme music composer was John Williams.
Yeah, I did know that
Hey.
actually.
That's
Oh,
crazy.
boy.
That's crazy.
It's gonna be one of the last thing he does.
But yeah, so kind of back to like the trailer that we saw, kind of like what Malcolm was saying. It looks very in the vein of Interstellar. It looks really exciting, and I'm glad that it's a series, and hopefully it lasts more than a season, which I think it will. It looks like it really has high like production value. There were a couple of people that we noticed that were in it, but I can't remember like names specifically.
Well, I've been trying to wait. I've been waiting for a really good done sci-fi set universe, because there's one on I think Amazon,
Probably.
which just wasn't. It's okay. It's getting decent reviews or something. I forget what it's called, but it's a current one, and I just couldn't get into it. And I tried. I found a Galaxy Stars or something. It's another anime, which is kind of like a space opera kind of deal. Couldn't get into that one either. And then I don't know, Defiance. We talked about that beforehand.
Sure.
Because we saw some what sci-fi. Oh, Krypton. We saw that
Oh.
sci-fi's doing.
It's gonna be a classic.
And anything sci-fi does just.
You know, for a second there, it seemed like they were going to really
Yeah.
piece together, get their act together, and have like things that weren't just like Sharknado 15, the
Yeah.
Sharkening or whatever.
Well,
Like
I-
the shark in it.
I just think sci-fi didn't really do Defiance well, and it was trying its best to be a sci-fi setting with fantasy, but
They just
this
didn't have like
looks
the budgets.
really good. This
Yeah.
one looks really good. I
Yeah.
think it's going to be a really really good movie.
How do you
Yeah.
guys? So you
They're
mentioned
really
you're
serious.
hoping it's multi-series. How do you guys feel about their shorter, like 1-2 season shows?
Sorry, what'd you say?
He was talking about how he hopes this goes multiple seasons. How do
Oh, okay.
you guys feel about their one-off 2 season maybe
For just this series, like
for Netflix series? Because it's kind of
Uh,
their thing right now, right? Is like the special
Yeah.
shorts.
Yeah, I don't know. I think
I think
I
they,
don't know.
I think they do it well. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not like turned off by that. If it's like really good and they just want to keep it like whatever 8 to 10 episodes, and I'm fine with that.
I like it a lot better.
If they tell if they can tell a complete story in that amount of time, then that's cool. But I feel like with this, it's going to be like they're lost in space. So I think the end of it will be them being not lost in space, and I guess if that takes 10 episodes, then it takes 10 episodes. But hopefully it takes, I don't know, a couple of seasons.
Yeah, I think that this show is actually Our Altered Carbon is currently the sci-fi Netflix bigwig right here, and that's okay. It tries too hard to be Blade Runner and fails in interesting ways, but also does a lot of different things because it's more about like switching bodies rather than just like these different people who serve humans. So it's I don't know. It's I'm excited for Lost in Space. It's finally something that I think reminds me of Star Wars without lightsabers. Is essentially any sort of sci-fi that reminds me of that, then I feel good.
Yeah, I think I'll definitely give it a watch. It seems interesting enough. Let's see. Is there anything? Okay, so on the subject of Netflix, you mentioned earlier, Soren, that they're spending tons of money on anime.
Yeah, they invested like $1 billion into like 30 different anime shows.
So now, question: does that mean like original anime or just
that Netflix is straight up producing, and they've released they did well at least this year alone. It's actually been pretty good for Netflix. They've released probably 15. Different originals. I've seen probably about like 6 or 7 of them.
Okay.
They did a Castlevania one, which was 4 episodes of just amazing.
Wow.
It was so well done.
So are they trying to make it just like one-offs, or is it going to be?
No, most of them, at least the ones I've seen, have their like second season already in there. There was one that was called Devilman. It got a lot of different.
Yeah, I heard that was interesting.
Yeah, it definitely pushes cinema, and like the art style and the stuff like that is cool. But you got to kind of get past these really weird, messed up blood scenes and sex scenes and different stuff like that. Which is most anime doesn't show like that much grittiness.
Yeah.
But it was a spin-off of a different series that's kind of explaining why these 2 other people are fighting. And which is apparently like it's a whole other. So they do these different things where it's like, okay, a couple seasons for this show, and then we're gonna like spin off with a different character, and they have their own whole show, but it's nothing about what we've already done.
Okay.
So like they could be potentially doing that more, but like they're really doing a good job with the whole original anime content. The only one I had an issue with was I think called If It's Up.
You mentioned it before. I can't remember the name either.
Just go to my Netflix account.
They're spending $8 billion the next year to make 50% of Netflix library original.
Wow.
And that's why I was looking up to try to find the exact number. They don't say the exact number on anime. They don't give the breakdowns.
I swear
but
I saw
$8 billion.
Yeah.
For 50% of their library to be original.
Yeah.
Like, how are they able to like make that much? Like,
it's everyone paying.
They got to be
Netflix.
operating at a loss, right?
I don't know. I think there's enough people who subscribe to this point, and I don't know. But anyways, the anime I was talking about was called Ico Incarnation, which it started out okay, but like I just couldn't get past this one dude's voice, and then I was like, I've liked most of the anime I've seen that's Netflix original, but when I see that the voice is kind of a weird voice, I don't really get that from most other dubs, even just like the crappy ones from Funimation.
Yeah.
So that's also starting to concern me because like how much is this $1 billion that they're supposedly investing is going to be towards like quality stuff. Because there's 30 new shows that they're coming out with in the next year or something like that. Or I don't know what the timeline is for it. But it's going to be, I don't know, there's another one they just posted called Children. Well, no, that's a different one from 2017.
So do you think that if Netflix is like a big enough draw for like the anime crowd that they will like, I know they have like some like non-original like anime
They got a couple of the big ones.
Yeah. Right. But do you think that means that services like, I don't know, like Funimation has like a streaming platform, and like Crunchyroll is probably like the biggest one out there. Although I'm not sure, like in terms of like I don't know quality stuff they have on there. I've seen some stuff, and I'm like
Crunchyroll essentially has everything, and they just don't do dubs. Funimation does a lot more dubs than.
So do you think that services like those will not exist?
No, I think Crunchyroll is here to stay for a long time just because they like accept anything and everything. But Funimation, they produce their own stuff, so they don't like post it. They'll post it on Crunchyroll, but you're not going to see that on Netflix. You're not going to see it like anywhere else unless you're subscribing to.
Okay.
And most of the stuff that Funimation produces goes towards. I almost had it. Not Cartoon Network, but that's not Toonami.
Okay. Yeah.
They do like the Dragon Ball Z stuff.
Right.
They had the Attack on Titan. They had Outlaw Star. They had a bunch of different ones. That's on.
So like even if you think that like Netflix is going to be wildly successful, you don't.
I think they will, but it's not going to force other companies out because they produce, if not better, the same, even with their lowest ones.
Okay.
So it's definitely getting interesting because like I think this is the first like push for like an American company to like spearhead anime because most of it does come out of Japan, and then they have like their Funimation English team like do all that stuff. So this is going to be interesting to see what kind of Netflix does and who they grab and who they don't grab.
Yeah.
Because Funimation ended up grabbing the dude who created Naruto, and he also created some other big one too. And they created a different one called Black Clover, which is like slowly gaining some sort of
I've seen bits
ground
of that.
But then I've watched stuff on Netflix recently, and I was like, oh, fuck. Like, Black Clover ain't shit to this. So,
all right.
It's going to be weird. It'll be weird to see how Netflix, like, actually, does that.
I'll probably have to check it out then, because it seems pretty interesting. This is probably a good time to say that Malcolm has not been in on this conversation. Because Malcolm does not fucking watch anime.
He has better things to do.
Why is that, Malcolm?
I do not enjoy it even a little bit because it's not enjoyable.
What?
I don't. There's not
what
nothing that. He's told me to watch like 3 different things.
Yeah.
Don't remember the names of any of them. Watch like 2 episodes of each. Was like, no. Every time he's like, you don't like anime? Well, let me change your mind here.
Okay.
Let me throw you some series that are the best.
This is what I will say. If you sound not open-minded, but let's say hypothetically.
I was, and then I watched all the best series.
Okay. Let's say hypothetically you are open-minded. I would say, all right, for me, on any anime series I've ever watched, it takes at least to episode 6 or 7 to firmly get into it.
Yep.
The first couple ones are always rocky because it's like they don't set up shit very well.
Sometimes you just wake up and you just don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
And they just go with it, or other times it doesn't make
They wait
sense.
for the hooks to come. I don't know why they do that, but
they just start with it.
Yeah. So
That's great.
So we'll recommend things if you want.
Well, he has.
What have you recommended?
I think I've probably...
It's been nearly a half dozen shows.
Probably Death Note, probably Attack on Titan.
Yes.
Probably Death Parade.
Yes. You did like 3 that one of them wasn't even on Netflix, and then you gave me like 2 other ones that you said, well, these are like the mainstream ones were the first ones you gave me, right? And then he's like, well, let's try these. No, not Naruto. I've seen Naruto.
No, okay. I wasn't sure.
I've seen Naruto.
All of it, because it gets so good when it gets to Shippuden.
Right.
All right. I guess that saddens me, but all right.
But yeah, no, I mean, that's bigger moves for Netflix, which just means if they make more money from the anime department, then we get more at Netflix originals from anything.
Yeah, no, I'm completely fine with that.
Bankroll
and I was also looking at like this Netflix article because I asked a question earlier about how the hell they're not operating at a loss.
They are.
It seems, they are. Yeah.
Really?
But so it looks like they're putting $8 billion over the next year into making 50% of their library their own content.
Yes.
Last year they made $2.64 billion, and that revenue is purely off subscriptions. So it seems to me what their basic plan is most of their cost comes from buying shows and contracts. So if you make your own shows, make a big investment, and then on top of that, people then want your shows instead, it's another revenue stream. So all those anime places you're talking about, if their anime becomes huge, because other networks are going to be looking for their stuff.
I always make a noise.
So I mean, they're not going to even be able to pay Disney even if they wanted to at this point. But they're pushing out a bunch of quality stuff, and and on top of that, I mean, they have 100 million subscribers. There's still hundreds of millions of other people who have the ability to watch Netflix who don't.
This is just so smart.
Basically, they're saying we're done with everyone else. We're gonna and they're gonna shut places. Hulu only stays alive because they get the new episodes.
The newest stuff,
But all Netflix has to do is make those companies an offer one time that they don't say no to, and Hulu's gone.
Yeah.
Amazon Prime only exists because you get it with your Prime membership. Let's buy it.
Yeah,
Even the user interface on that is garbage. Like, I can't
Yeah.
find I have a list apparently
God.
that if I hit R1 it goes to my list, but I can't find my list.
Yeah.
So I just have a bunch of stuff on Amazon I can't watch.
That's true. It's the user interface is bad. I really don't use it for anything. I use Prime because 2-day shipping. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but
Let me get the UPS
it's
man.
the same thing with their music. When I found out they have Amazon Prime Music that I get, I'm like, oh, that's awesome. I don't have to pay Spotify anymore. And then I tried to use it. I'm like, this is terrible.
It's terrible.
And I switched to Apple Music because I got Apple stuff.
I'm a Spotify person.
Yeah. I had Spotify for it sucks because I also have
YouTube
my
Music,
playlist,
baby. It's
but I can download all my playlists on my watch.
Yeah.
Until I don't have to carry my phone when I run or
That's
stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, that's the only reason we switched.
Yeah.
I liked YouTube Red, but their original content. The only selling point for YouTube Red to me is not having to watch commercials.
That's true.
Which upsets me.
It's the commercials and being able to lock your phone.
Yeah.
That's the only two reasons why. I use
but
it.
they did it so smooth.
And you can download stuff.
You guys can remember
Uh-huh.
there was no ads on YouTube.
Yep.
Then there was an ad every once in a while before the video.
Then
there was ads in the middle of some videos, like huge videos.
Yeah.
And now there's an ad at the beginning of every video, regardless, it seems like, of what it is, and during every video. And they came up with some way that if you try to skip ahead of the ads, it kicks you back and you watch the ad and then you.
See, that's what I love about Hulu, because if you do it just right, you could skip an ad.
See, we have a Hulu Premium that we just have Hulu Premium because Abby likes watching sitcoms.
Okay.
And that's awesome. It's $10 a month. But honestly, if we canceled Hulu, I wouldn't be missing anything.
Yeah.
And that's like I said. All it takes is Netflix one time to get either better shows.
Here's where
or
Netflix. This is why they're not operating at the black. This is why they're losing money. They canceled Marco Polo. That was a beautiful series. I loved every minute of it. I've watched it like 5 times.
You know why
I signed the petition to bring it back, and they still didn't listen.
You know why they canceled it?
That's
Because
why.
I've never heard of this ever.
I saw it pop up.
good.
I saw they've made a big push for it.
I watched,
and still apparently no one watched it
it
because it got
so
canceled.
much. Oh my god!
You know why Amazon's gonna fail? They canceled the Jean-Claude Van Damme's CIA agent show.
That's why
it was the
fail.
best thing ever.
Single-handedly. That's the one. That's the.
They have
straw.
Psych though. My mom was so mad she bought the first 2 seasons of Psych because they wasn't on any streaming services right before the movie came out. And then Amazon Prime put it up for free. Like literally, she bought them 2 days before, and I came over and I go, I just started watching Psych on there. She goes, "Are you on my account?" I'm like, "No, I'm not on your account." She goes, "Well, then how are you watching it? You have to pay for it." I go, "No, you don't." And we got in like this huge argument. I pull it up and the bottom it says season 1 through 8 free.
That's really funny.
Yeah, I was dying. I thought
really
it was
sorry.
hilarious.
Better question though. Did she order it from Amazon?
Yeah, no, she through Amazon. If they don't have the episodes, you pay to get the seasons, which is nice because if they don't have something, you can pay for it. But still,
Oh my
it was too
So
much.
you order from Amazon and then like, fuck it, we already have it up there.
Yeah.
All right.
That sucks.
Man.
That really does.
So is that the end of Netflix then?
I think that's the end of the
All
week's
right.
Netflix.
Last thing we have to do is tomato meter.
Yes.
All right.
Who are we?
Finishing strong.
What verses are we doing?
I think me versus Soren.
Okay.
I think there's one where we're doing all 3. Which one? I thought there was.
I didn't think there was one.
I don't know. Okay. And
That's fine.
He's the one who found the movie, so I figured he.
Oh,
he
we
can
all
run it this
wait.
time.
No, I thought we all watched the same. Okay, never mind. You got it. Never.
Oh,
my
God.
bad. My bad.
You know what? It's all right.
Oopsies.
It's all right. Just,
Winning the Oscars really,
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think I'm all that in a bag of chips.
All right. So, God, fucking never fucking say that shit again. Okay.
Back in my day.
Oh my god. So these are all movies that have been released or going to be released within the week.
Okay.
We probably have all seen trailers for these. We have not
Okay.
seen any of these movies, obviously. Just what we think based on, I'm explaining tomato meter to everybody because.
We should do that every time.
Okay. All right. So my battery's at 10%. Let's do this.
Oh,
all
boy.
right.
All right.
First one. Ready Player One.
I'm going 80.
I think people are gonna freaking love this movie, so I'm gonna go 87. I think it's gonna be close to a 90.
All right. You said 87.
I said 80.
John said
87.
it sounds. I said 80. John last week said it didn't look good at all. 2 weeks ago. He's not bad.
People are gonna love this movie.
Or what'd you say?
80.
And what did you say?
87.
Okay. Malcolm has it.
Son of a bitch.
It was like an 83 or something.
78.
78. That's pretty good. Yeah.
Especially for like how much they changed from the story. I mean, at least the references are going to be changed.
Yeah, they
It's more
modernized the
modern.
references, and
but-
that was a good call.
Yeah,
People who read books get the 80s
Yeah.
and 90s references. Kids won't.
kids won't. Yeah.
All right, so the next one we got here is childhood classic. Going to be ruined for the big screen, potentially. A Wrinkle in Time. What do we think?
Oh,
I know it's not doing
I
well
know
at
it did
box
not,
offices
yeah.
because
And-
Black Panther's kicking it. But
and
I'm going to go with 75.
I saw some stuff about like the message is too liberal or whatever.
Okay.
So I
So
don't
was
know
Star
what that
Wars
means.
message
Yeah,
for these.
sure.
Everything now.
So
Yeah,
I'm
75.
I'm gonna go with worse than that. Probably 57. I think it's like a close to a 60.
I think it's higher than mine.
What would you say?
75.
You said
57.
57. Soren gets it.
Okay.
What was
And
it?
it is 42%.
Oh my God.
Shit, yeah. It
It's
looked
bad.
good. The trailer
It's
looked
rotten.
good, but I heard that the actual story
Yeah.
is kind of weird and inconsistent in places, and they push like specific, feel good moments, which
Yeah.
I'm totally fine
Yeah,
with.
no,
them.
me too. But
be inspiring
some
over
people
it.
don't
That's
like
the whole
shit.
point.
They're
Yeah.
like, feel good? Fuck that
I
shit.
think part of it
One
though
one.
is because of the whole speech he gave at the not the Oscars, the
Emmys?
Golden Globes.
Gold Globes?
I don't know.
Something.
I don't know, wherever everyone
cares?
thought she was running for president or whatever.
All right,
we all
boys.
just make assumptions.
Next one, we got Tomb Raider with, what's her face?
Yeah, the new Tomb
So
Raider.
that bodes well, but I'll let Soren go first.
Okay.
With what's her face?
I think that she and the franchise is going to do probably 65.
Okay.
45.
Malcolm gets it. It is,
2-1.
it is a 50% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Okay,
Right
wow.
now. Wow.
That's
Yeah.
pretty good for a video game movie.
I heard that,
I
yeah,
will give him
for
that.
sure. I'm sure we could go
Assassin's
back to
Creed.
or the Mario and Luigi one.
Next one, we got Jennifer Lawrence's new movie. We have Red Sparrow.
Is that the one where
85.
apparently people were like uncomfortable with her nudity on set?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what they were saying.
85.
Red Sparrow, I'm going to go with 90 actually.
You said 85.
Yeah.
Malcolm gets it.
What was it?
82.
48%.
48?
People hate this fucking
I hear
movie.
about Red Sparrow all the
All the
time. I
time.
thought it was going to be huge.
People hate this fucking
Maybe I hear
Oh,
bad
my.
things about Red Sparrow. I know it wasn't very
maybe I
close.
could read some reviews really quick.
I know that
Jesus.
there was a big deal about her taking off her
Yeah, but
clothes
also
and
I
something.
thought
don't know.
like at least what I saw in the trailer.
Yeah, give us the snippets they get
Okay,
for the.
there isn't much chemistry between the leads and their sex scenes don't sizzle. But the fault lies with the dopey, confusing script by Justin Haith that fails to develop their characters with any depth or purpose. Okay. Red Sparrow is intended to be a sexy thriller, but it's little more than a canvas for one director's limited vision of women, of which there are only two stereotypes. Okay.
Okay.
A good review from this person. Red Sparrow is like the Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, but only if it were directed by Showgirls era Paul Verhoeven. That's something of common, but it's also a warning. All right, now the last one. This is apparently an Amazon Prime produced movie called Gringo. What do we think?
47. I've actually seen it did worse than Wrinkle in Time and box.
I
and
have no idea
the
what
money
this
it brought
is.
in.
You've never seen this?
No, I did not prepare for this one thoroughly.
Okay.
So I will.
It's already 3-1.
Did you
now.
look it up yet?
I'm going to look it
No,
up.
don't look it up. You do it. I'll look it up. I already got the.
Okay.
Wait, have you looked up Tomato Meter?
I'm looking it up right now.
Okay, I already beat. So I
Yeah, you already-
defeat Soren, so
so,
now I got to defeat
sure.
John 1-on-1.
Oh, I have to.
Have you already seen the rating?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, okay.
I loaded right before I closed, or right after.
I already said 47. So
Okay, I shut off my computer.
higher or lower?
Is this with David Orleo?
35.
I just want to make sure this is the correct one.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's the
you
one.
win. That
Okay.
sucks.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
it's 39. 39.
Okay.
I want a redemption.
What?
I want a double up.
Okay,
I want Assassin's
that's fine.
Creed
We
the
can
movie.
do. That's fine. We can do that. Yeah, we'll do Assassin's Creed. That's a good one.
That's
but
years ago. All right.
I think
It's a
we
classic.
could. What is this movie about?
We don't know. Oh, it's a weed pill. They're like, this is gonna do things. It's innovative, and then stuff.
Interesting.
All I knew is it got worse ratings than Wrinkle in Time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so what
So
were we gonna do?
me versus John, Assassin's Creed.
Okay.
Assassin's Creed.
I'll let you. I guess first last time. I insist. You go first.
Oh, thanks, bud.
Oh my gosh! You know how much I watched Ninja Assassin?
42.
I'm going 20.
Not even Michael Fassbender could save it. You
I don't think so.
No.
Or what's her face?
What'd you say?
I said 42.
20.
It was 18. They fucking hated this movie.
Damn,
guys.
Dude, literally, this is how I knew it was bad, is because I know people who love Michael Fassbender
Yeah. Oh,
who
Mary-
refuse to go see it.
Is it Marion Cotillard in that?
And that was the
Who's the female lead? Right there.
Yep.
Yep.
No, see, no. I remember. I didn't watch the movie.
That was the same year that, or like a couple months in between when the Warcraft movie came out.
Oh.
And I went and saw that.
And we're tied now. What are we gonna watch? What are we gonna do? We need one more movie.
We'll do Warcraft.
I like the classics. I like the vintage ones here.
Yeah, and I saw that movie and it was bad. But
I refused to.
It was.
I respected my eyes too much.
All right, what do we got?
37.
Okay.
I don't want to just do the lower than you thing.
Okay.
So I'll go 25.
You still got it. It's 28. They did not.
Yes.
Yeah, they butchered both of those movies pretty well.
Yeah, fair enough.
In Assassin's Creed, didn't they do something weird?
I feel like they gave you
With the
exactly what you would think is coming
Yes.
from those movies.
Giant armor, big swords, and CGI orcs. Or ogres. Orcs? I don't know.
Ogres? Orcs. They're
Orcs.
orcs.
It's orcs
Yeah.
in Warcraft.
Wasn't sure. I was never a crafter. Nor was I ever a runescaper.
I love how you said that.
Crafter. I am a
I was like, who's a
Minecrafter.
crafter?
I am a Minecrafter.
I did play World of Warcraft 2 and 3 before they ruined it by going MMO.
Wow.
Oh.
They're strategy games. That's what they
Oh.
were.
Who's the famous Warcraft guy? The meme. There's one.
Leroy Jenkins.
Leroy Jenkins.
It's my character's name in Diablo 3 that I just got.
Ah.
Eric Ryan.
An homage.
Well, it's Leroy Jenkins because pet peeve of mine.
Not enough space for the
If
S.
it's going to be like a fantasy game, you need to give me a lot of characters because I like to do like Bloodborne. My guy's Roderick the Raven, and on this I literally got Roderick TH because the space counts as a character. So that's like 9 characters max. So I got Leroy Jenkins.
All right. You're
Time's up. Let's do this.
It was just like when or is it? Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Sorry.
All right,
Never mind,
folks.
Anything else we got?
Well, I think that was about it.
For Malcolm and the PodSpillers, this
Yep.
is Malcolm.
On that somber note,
All right,
we're
folks.
gonna close it down.
Yep. All right. Thanks.
Thank you. What?
What? That's it.
What?
Okay.
That it?
Got it, yeah.
All right.